What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Manny Reads Comics, where today we're going to talk about Once and Future 22. And I have comic Jeremy, to join me in this book. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm just like Manny. I really love this book. This issue is really good, and I'm excited to talk about it. So let's just dive into it.
Yeah, no, I actually we met on Instagram because of our love for this book, and
That's right.
same as you, I don't hear enough people talking about this book. It's just like it goes under the radar every day, and then honestly, I forget what happens in the book. I have to go back and like maybe read the because it's
I
just so long.
I've got the hardcover book one. It just came in a couple weeks
Yes.
ago. So
Yeah.
I'm just like issue a day. I read like two or three the other day, but so like there's a
No,
lot of small things that I forgot.
you told me about what was it, the cheap
Cheap
graphic
graphic
novel?
novels, yeah.
Yeah. I went to go do it. I went to go grab it. So turns out that April 2022 release, it's more like of a like, hey, when we get like a second printing or something like that, you're the first up and you'll get that.
Oh man.
So I was
Oh,
like, you
see,
know
I
what?
thought they might
No.
have like they might have just had to wait longer because they're selling it for like a cheaper price. I didn't know how
I
it
was
worked
hoping you were
specifically.
right. I was hoping, but luckily,
That
my
sucks,
local
man.
comic shop did have it. They held it for me, so I have it here
Nice,
as well, and I'll be going
very
into
cool.
it.
Did you get the slipcase one or just the
I
regular?
did not get the slipcase one. That's
Yeah, I pre-ordered it probably back in October. No, September, I think. So I made sure I was like, I'll spend an extra $20. It's cool.
right. No, and usually I'm not a hardcover kind of person. As you can tell behind me, I got nothing but like single issues and
Single
stuff.
issues, yeah.
But I mean, for this one, Middle West, and I don't have anything else other than that. But Middle West is a book by Scotty Young and uh, Jorge Corona does the art.
Okay.
If you haven't read that, definitely you should.
Yeah, I'll have
But
to check
that's
it out.
another
I
story.
know Corona did a cover for. Have you read We Live?
Yes, yeah, he did a
Okay.
cover for that.
Yeah,
Okay,
he did a cover for issue one. I want to say it was the. It might have been the one in 10.
he's been going around right now. Like he's in Batgirls. He's gonna do the cover for
Flash.
that. Flash. He's currently doing the Flash. He did a couple of interiors for Robin as well.
Yeah.
He's getting some work. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. Once in Future 22. This cover. Um, we have Bridget just kind of I don't know what those are. Are those fairies? They kind of look
I
like they
I
have like a
I think
hornet.
they're the fairies. Yeah.
The fairies and the fairies. I really honestly I've never seen a story. I'm sure that I there are stories out there, but I've never seen a story where fairies were so feared. Like they're like
Right.
don't even say their name. Like don't
Yeah.
mention
Yeah.
them.
Because
And
they're
she's over
normally like
here.
harmless, or if they are like dangerous,
Yeah.
they're never like feared in that like respect. I guess.
Yeah, and to the point where like you need to be quiet. You need like they had the
Yeah.
whole bell to like lure them away or keep them away. But yeah, we got Bridget in flames, kind of with this bike, almost looking like Ghost Rider. No,
Pretty
but
tight.
I love this cover and Dan Moore's art. I can never say anything bad about it.
Yeah. I will say I like going back and reading like 'cause I just finished when I stopped reading the other night. It was issue six. So I just finished the first arc again.
Okay,
And like seeing his art then to now, like it's such a huge improvement.
it's like how can you improve? Like that
Right.
makes
Like
no sense
even
that you
then, like back
improved.
then I was like, damn, this art is so good. Like it's the best. Like and that was like the main reason I kept reading it was just
Yeah,
for the art. But then like once five and six rolled in, I was like, man, this is so good. Like I just can't stop.
I gave Once in Future 4 out of 5 stars. I really appreciated the art. I thought the action was really good. Like there was a shit ton of action, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, there
Uh,
a lot happened.
yeah, Merlin was funny. He hasn't been like he's been like just angry this whole time
He's
and
just a
like
bastard
plotting.
though. Like
Yeah, that was hilarious. Finding out that William Shakespeare was a hunter, that was
yeah,
really
that was really
cool.
cool.
And,
That's
and just
cool.
like a cool little thing that I liked was the giant out of nowhere just going fee fi fo
Yeah.
fum. I thought that was like out of
Because we saw
nowhere.
him we saw him what was it last issue or the issue before that?
The giant. See, this is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I don't remember seeing the giant because it's been so long. It's only been a month since
Because
the last issue.
he
But
I'm trying to think, man, because I want to say that it may have been hold on. I have hold on. Sorry.
you have your research
I have
notes.
it all right here next to me. Yeah, it was right here. Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, see that exactly what I was talking about. Like it's been so long since in
I just
between
like I
issues.
feel like a month is so long to wait for this book, man. I just like,
This book specifically, yes.
and there's a lot to keep track of. So I'm just like, man, like if I like don't remember something, I feel like I lose out on like that whole storyline. And I think especially with this book, man, like every character plays so many different roles.
It's literature. Like it's like
Yeah, it is.
history.
Like it's there's a lot. Like there's a lot of layers. Like sometimes I forget that Duncan's mom is like even a thing, and then she shows up randomly, and
She
then you
pisses
find
me
out that
off.
she's an important character, and I'm like, I didn't remember that.
That's my one negative from this book is that she showed up at the end. I was like, what do you want? What do you why are you here?
I don't know. I feel like she's starting to be a red herring though.
Oh yeah. How so?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like she could either die soon,
Hmm.
um, because then there's the whole Galahad thing as well now. Like
Okay.
I also forget that because who was Duncan's mom? What character? Like what role was she playing? Was it Elaine? And that was Arthur's wife, and then
She was
Lancelot's.
she was two characters. She took on two characters. Elaine and Nimue,
That's right.
Nimue.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
And
right.
see, that's what I'm saying, like that. And I don't even really know who Nimue is, like in the stories.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I think her role as Nimue was like it already like it served its purpose.
it's okay, okay, because
But like
I
the whole
know.
thing, like when Galahad, remember when he got transformed like way back when,
Mhm.
and then like now, like we see him in this issue, and we see like how far he's come. Like we see how like messed up he is, like, and then Merlin pretty much says like go find Lancelot. And if I'm not mistaken, Lancelot slept with Elaine, and that's how Galahad was born.
Oh, so technically Lancelot is his father.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
So
that
he's
something that's
basically
just known and I just didn't know
because
that?
he's taking on that role now. Like he's
Yeah,
saying, go search for your father. And of course, Arthur's pissed about it all the whole
right.
time. So he's saying like, bring Lancelot to me. Like we got some stuff we got to take care of. And he's sending his son to go get him. At
Damn.
least
Yeah,
that's what it
I didn't
looks like.
even that didn't even register to me. Like I knew that they were both knights of King Arthur. I didn't know that Galahad was the son of Lancelot, which adds a
I'm
different
pretty
layer.
sure that's the story.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with this is like you need to have a little bit of knowledge. I have so many times after reading this book, like okay, like after this, I'm gonna go look up who Yvain is. I don't know what kind of knight that is that he
Right. And
apparently
I
befriended a
don't even
guy
know that
named.
Yvain's a knight. I'm pretty sure he's just like some European myth. But I'm pretty sure that they've done away with like the Arthur myths, and they're just going crazy
No,
with it now.
they're going across the board. Like they went to
Right, because
Beowulf.
we saw who else did we see? Like we saw Beowulf, we
Yeah,
saw the Grendel, we saw a bunch of characters that is kind of separate from Arthur and
the
his knights
the giant itself. I'm
and the
pretty sure
giant
that's
too.
not Arthur. Like like I'm pretty sure that's just Jack and the
So
Beanstalk, right? Like
yeah,
that's telling the story. So
that I can think of. What else? Oh, and then there's the multiple kingdoms too.
yes, I'm confused on how where they're going with this. Like, why are there two Arthurs? Why?
Yeah,
What's
I'm
going
not
on?
sure. It'll be interesting to see. So
Yeah, because honestly, when I saw the second Arthur, so like now I refer to them as Dark Arthur and regular Arthur,
yeah,
and because like the regular Arthur is just good Arthur, and but he's also kind of bad. He's trying to take over his own kingdom, but like he's not being evil about it, I guess. And is there
yeah,
two Merlins?
there is two Merlins. Yeah, because the other one steps out of the portal at the end of issue or somewhere in issue 20. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
So
We'll
what would
see.
you say you gave this book then, rating wise?
Rating? Hmm. Probably a 4.5.
4.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's just go ahead and go into the story to see why you gave it that 4.5, right? This one opens up with Bridget and Duncan shooting behind their car as Rose drives away, and they're being chased by who we were just talking about, Yvain, and this
Yeah.
giant fire-breathing lion. So, my point is, I need to go look this up because I don't know who this guy is. Why does he have a
Yeah,
fire-breathing lion? Like,
I don't know. I don't really know much about him either. I mean, I like a lot of mythology,
mhm.
and that's really the main reason I picked this book up in the first place was like, oh, I like I love like the King Arthur stories, like the Holy Grail, like so like even when the Green Knight showed up,
That was
like
cool.
earlier on in the run, I was like I already knew that story, so I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Seeing Bath really psyched me up because I thought, oh, now they're gonna go into Greek mythology and Roman mythology. Like
Yeah,
that's
because yeah, we
really
get the
awesome.
Gorgon and all these because they even said like Roman or like Roman Greco, like that was like
Mhm.
what Bath was back then.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll probably see some god if this story continues. We'll probably see some gods here and there. That's pretty
Yeah, that
exciting,
would be
honestly.
tight.
No. But so yeah, back to the story. Yvain is chasing them, and Yvain, I can't get quite a clear picture of whose side he is on. The way he's being colored, he looks bright. He looks like very bright orange and everything. So I say, oh, he's probably on regular Arthur's side, and he's trying to recruit. I'm gonna assume Duncan because Duncan is technically right now Percival, right?
Right. Well, and Rose too. She's Gawain.
Rose is Gawain. Yes, that's right from the
Yeah.
Green Knight. And Bridget, I don't think she's taking it on anything, but she is a badass, and I would definitely love
Yeah,
her on my
because
team.
her role was the surrogate Fisher King. Remember when she shot herself?
That's right, and that's still confusing
So
to me. I need to look that up.
at this point she just kind of feels like the guide. So
Okay,
I'm not willing. You know, I'm willing to bet she'll have another role at some point.
so you were talking about the Duncan's mom being a like a red herring, or she's probably about to die or something. I think Bridget is gonna die. I think she's an old
All right.
lady. She continuously is constantly like reminiscing about the good times and how she used to be better at this, and she never wanted this for
Right,
Duncan.
and now she's teaching him like
Yeah, and before they left the Grail Castle, she was like looking at all her memories, and it's almost like a
man.
last time.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
I love her so much, so I know that they're gonna kill her off.
So that being said, do you think it's gonna? Well, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait.
All right. No, but yeah, no, that's I think that's gonna happen, and I'm really upset. I'm already like crying the tears that are gonna happen when that happens. But it's gonna happen. But so right now they're being chased. This lion is breathing fire on them. And they're trying to get to an underground armory that's nearby. Bridget's yelling at Rose, like, hey, turn here, go towards the barn. They crash into the barn, and as Duncan is like kind of holding them off, um, Rose and Bridget are trying to like jump in or open the trap door, right?
Yeah.
And so from there, the lion comes in. Rose can't mess with the lock. The key is stuck or something. So of course Bridget, in true Bridget fashion, is just like move, shoots the lock. Let's go. Like come on, like you're worried about the wrong things here, and so they jump in and they make it to the tunnel. And here's something that was interesting to me was that Yvain wasn't going to follow them because they were in a tunnel. And I'm interested to know like what uh what story is that, or how many stories actually have that thing where like knights don't really go into tunnels, they don't have really good luck in underground tunnels. Thought that was interesting.
I see. I don't know, and maybe that's just because like I never really paid attention to like how often the knight found himself in a tunnel while reading these
How
stories.
often does that happen? Yeah, no, it's always a battlefield,
So
right?
like, and I feel like this is because it's like Kieran Gillen, like he's British.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't
So
know that.
and like I mean, obviously, like the whole book is set in the UK, like in Europe. So I wonder if that's just like that's just something he knows because he's very knowledgeable in those myths and just
It's
being there
probably
and like
common knowledge, honestly. And I mean, I don't know about you, but me, I don't really dive into
I mean,
mythological
right? I
books.
mean, it's like something like if a knight's armed with a sword, I don't think he's gonna have much ability to fight inside a tunnel.
That's true. And that's literally what Bridget is saying. Like they don't have much luck underground, so he's just gonna wait it out. He's on top,
Right,
waiting with his. I say dragon because of fire breathing, but it's a lion.
right,
And he's got the advantage. I'll wait you out.
right.
Then we move over to the Grell Castle, which I feel so bad for the. It's just a bunch of old people from the old folks home, and then like two or three younger people that they don't know what's going on, and they're all trying to like read from Bridget's nose, like, all right, we have a giant
Right.
that's trying to eat us. Like, what do we do? What do we do? And then you finally find what the note card that Bridget leaves for giants, and it just says like, "Oh yeah, you're pretty much fucked." like,
Yeah, for
if you
real.
don't want a giant to beat you, you need to go get some fairies. But don't say the F word. But if you want to say fairy, don't worry about it. Like just do whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, you know what, just do whatever you think is right. I
yeah.
I will say though, I really, and this is my one complaint with the book,
Uh-oh.
is I really wish that like because I wasn't really, I mean, I should have expected the giant, but I forgot about him. Like
Yeah.
at the end of last issue, I was like, oh, it's a giant. Cool. I'm not
What's
sure
gonna happen?
what this is gonna do. And I didn't even think about him coming to the Grail Castle.
Hmm.
I just like I thought that those characters were gonna be shelved for a while.
I thought the Grail
Just to,
Castle was really like a shelter. Like, hey,
right.
if you might come across some dangers, but don't really worry about it.
Because they've been at the Grail Castle for a few issues now, right?
Yeah, I think
Have
2 or 3.
did they get attacked at any point there yet, or no? Or
Um,
were there fairies there?
no, when they were going to the Grail Castle, the fairies
Uh,
followed. I
they
think
didn't ring
one
the. Did
thing,
they ring the bell when they got there to so keep them away?
yes, and that's what one thing that Bridget said was like the bell should keep a lot of things away. So this is why that guy ran outside to that bell.
Right.
And
So that's why I wonder if when they rang the bell when they first got there, because they did, right?
yeah, they did.
So if I wonder if the giant heard it, and
That's what
that's why
alerted
he's
him.
there now.
Yeah,
That would make
that
sense
makes
to me.
sense.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
That would be my one complaint. I really wish that it wasn't like part of like the two spread, like the end of that
Uh-huh.
sequence with Yvain and then the giant. I wish it would have just been the page turning on the left side. It would have been the giant, and I was like, oh, it just felt like it was a weird placement. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling. Like going back, going like trying to like look through my notes for this stuff. It's almost like we're jumping from place to place.
Yeah, like
Um, it's a lot of things going on, honestly.
right. Like as much as I like this issue, there was a lot, and it was just like I feel like one of these sequences could have been saved for later.
Yeah, I think, and then that for me that would be like you're saying the giant. This whole giant attacking. It's not really necessary because we have Duncan, Rose, Bridget. Then we have the giant and everyone at the Grail Castle, and then we also talk about um, King Arthur, Merlin, and then Galahad for a bit. It's just a bunch of stories, and they all do mesh pretty well. But like you said, it's almost a little too convoluted. Like,
I wonder if they're because there's only going to be two. There's only two issues left in this arc.
really,
Because
I didn't
if
know
they're
that.
going to still continue with the 6 issue arcs,
That makes sense.
this
Yeah.
would be the fourth arc. So I wonder if they're trying to tie up all these loose ends before we go into the next arc or whatever's next.
I feel like if this is only 2, I think it's gonna be a cliffhanger, kind of like how it ended with when the prime minister like made an
Yeah,
announcement, and
yeah, with Boris at the
it
end of
just ended
12.
like that. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
just
So
it's
that's what
gonna
I'm
be like
thinking
that.
is because right now you have because like you said earlier, like we don't know who Yvain is working for, which Arthur.
Hmm.
But if he is working because and when I don't think they've ever like revealed which Arthur's looking to recruit Duncan and Rose.
I would say it's the light Arthur because
Right, and that I again I think that's another like another red herring. I feel like we're so expecting it to be
that's true.
one Arthur. It could be the other one. Like I the whole time I thought it was going to be the bad Arthur
For
because
to
he's already been
recruiting,
after them. And what's that?
I said you thought it was gonna be the bad Arthur
I'm
recruiting.
like yelling. I think, um, but yeah, I thought it was going to be the bad Arthur only because he's been after them. But now that this other Arthur's entered the picture, like he needs some firepower.
That's true. No, I think it is light Arthur that's recruiting them.
Yeah, I mean, it could
That's
very well
just
could be.
that's a kind of like like you're saying, like the logical conclusion, but it could still it could be that you know what it is Dark Arthur. He's like, hey, you've eluded me so far. That means you're pretty worthy. How about you just join me instead?
Right, exactly.
But
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, and that's why I kind of like it makes me wonder if they're trying to wrap up all these like smaller plots.
mhm,
So when we go into the next stage, if it is like the battle between the two Arthurs, like all the other like side stuff that really isn't as important is like
mhm.
is done with for now.
That makes sense. That would be pretty cool. No. And so going back to this giant, I really do appreciate this caretaker. Like he's going above and beyond his line of work.
Yeah,
And
it's the nurse, right?
yeah, like he almost got smushed, and as soon as I saw the hand smushed down on him, I was like, no, he can't be dead. Like no, that sacrifice does not count. Like you can't do that to me. Like, but and he did survive. He is able to. He was trying to like hit the bell to repel the giant,
Yeah.
but it turned out the giant was just like, hey, what's up? Thanks for alerting me of your presence. I'm about to eat you. And then he's luckily able to get away, jumps inside, and then we just go back to Duncan, Bridget, and Rose. We don't even know what happens to them.
They
Like they
don't,
know to
and they're
come
not in
back.
the rest of the issue, are they?
No, they aren't.
See, yeah, I feel like this, as much as I like the Giant stuff, because I think the Giants design is really good.
I think it was just so out of nowhere that I
Right. Like
loved
I
it.
feel
I was
like
like, oh crap.
I feel like they could have saved this for next issue maybe and focused on the, like more on the, like even what's happening next or with Arthur or with any other
Yeah,
segment.
because right now they're telling 3 stories. They could have stuck with two, and then maybe next one it would be another two, like
Right.
Duncan and the Grail. Like just don't tell
Right.
the whole classic with the whole trilogies of movies like Spider-Man 3. Like don't ever put all the villains in one book, you know. But,
I don't know,
but no, I
man. No
agree.
Way Home is doing
Yeah,
it.
they're putting a whole bunch of villains in. Yeah. So then we go back to Duncan, Rose, Bridget. They've made it to this hideout, and we find out that it's William Shakespeare's hideout, and he's like one of the greatest because or he killed a king. And is that, I don't know if you know this or if this is what you thought? Are they talking about Hamlet? Like is that the king that he killed or whatever?
It could be. I and here's the thing is like I wasn't expecting William Shakespeare to be have
That
anything to do with this.
that was out of nowhere. Yeah, just
I was like,
completely.
okay. But then
And
they play it
even Bridget was like,
what?
no, you need to stop jumping to conclusions, blah blah. And then finally, just like, yeah, you're right. It's
Right.
William.
And so Bridget says something interesting and she's like right here because I think it's Rose that asked like what's all this like all the pages on the walls.
Hmm.
And then she's like foul pages they were called first drafts useful insulation to keep wild stories away. So I wonder if like a lot of his stories ended up becoming real.
Hmm. That was a thought of mine as well. It's like I wonder if like, he wrote these stories about real people, not that they became real, but he wrote about like Hamlet was an actual king, and in order to
Right.
get rid of him, instead like the pen is mightier than the sword. Instead of trying to kill him head on, he's like, I'm gonna write a story and you're gonna die.
Right. Because if he was a monster hunter like Bridget was, and he had whatever ability that if he was able to write these stories because of whether he got mixed up with Hamlet at some point,
Yeah.
like just
It was
because those
very
stories
interesting
turned
to
out to
see
be
that.
true.
Yeah, and Bridget even said, "Let's take a couple of these pages. They're gonna be worth it for a little bit, and along with the quill and the sword."
Right.
That was kind of cool.
Right. So that it's probably going to be like their ace in the hole, I think.
The quill.
Yeah, like having the quill and probably having the parchment and being able to either write something in or use one of the pages they took as like
I thought maybe the quill was like kind of like that. This is the weapon I can write. I don't know if you've ever watched Death Note.
Death Note. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the quill is the book instead, and like I can write whatever I write in anything, it'll
Right.
become true. But now
Right.
you're talking about the parchment, like, oh, maybe it's a combination of both. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. It's just there. We'll see. I
yeah,
have no
we will
idea.
see. Yeah, of course. But yeah, so they pretty much arm themselves up. They decide, all right, let's go back and we're gonna face this knight. He's probably still there waiting for us. So let's go, and right, and then we just jump right back into Merlin and King Arthur. And King Arthur's pissed.
Oh, before we go to Arthur and Merlin, another thing that Bridget says. She says this little quill is definitely a weapon, or at least part of one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so part. Okay, so there you go. That means maybe the
So
parchment, or
yeah,
I think
It,
when I first read that, I thought maybe the quill would like kind of like combine with some other like actual weapon and
right, or maybe it was like the actual quill itself, like the metal piece of it
mhm,
could have been from like a mythical
Excalibur
sword,
or
right,
something like
or
yeah.
something like, or even like the feather. It could have been from like a special arrow, like we don't know.
Oh,
Like
or a
I don't
bird.
know enough about those like weapons in particular from those myths to be like, yeah, like I can tell you, but
Yeah, like it could be like not a bird, but like maybe a griffin or
yeah, that
something.
too.
I don't know, like some kind of mythological beast. Yeah. Um, yeah, so back to Arthur, he's pissed. His people keep dying. Lancelot is just slaughtering them. And then they try to find what was the knight's name? I
Uh,
can't see it right here. The knights that was in
Eliold, I
Bath.
think.
Hmm?
Eliold, the one that scratched his eyes out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Eliot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Eliold. I
Which badass
Merlin is so
badass
funny,
move.
man.
Yeah, he says like, "Oh, I've never seen him so petrified." Like,
Yeah,
shut
he's
up,
such an
man.
asshole. Like,
And even Arthur is like, "Ha, very very funny." Like, all right, but
yeah, he's like over it, man. He's like not having it.
he's pissed. His people are dying, and this other guy's winning. Like this to him, this fake Arthur is winning, and he's not having it. Um, but going back to what's this guy's name? I you just said it, but
Eliold.
Eliold.
Yeah,
In the last issue, that was a complete badass move of him
yeah,
just removing his
he's
eyes. He's like,
wicked, dude.
"Oh, I can't look at you. That's not a problem," and he just removes his eyes. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I.
Um,
It's interesting that he said that he was able to regrow his eyes.
that had me
I
thinking
don't.
because I'm like, why would he? Because I don't know if he took out his eyes knowing that he could do that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So I don't know. It could be something they touch on later, or it could be like a reference to whatever myth that knight is from. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, because I don't. Again, you have to know your history with this.
Yeah, like I feel like and it's so funny because all these characters that I feel like are named either come from a story or are named somewhere in these in mythology or somewhere like in some form of like European literature that's
Yeah.
like direct references. 'Cause I don't even know who
Exactly.
Eliold is. I just know that he was
And it's
ballsy
like
enough to
it's
dig his own eyes
I
out.
wonder if I have to go and research it because it's gonna come into play later, or
Right,
like it's gonna have to do something with the story, but I don't know.
right,
But
right.
um, this pissed off Arthur tells Merlin that he wants this to stop. We need to stop Lancelot. And Merlin's like, "All right, I got this," and he sends Galahad. And then we go back to Duncan, Bridget, and Rose, and they're at the entrance of the tunnel. They're about to jump out and kill these or attack the knight and his lion, and then they find them both dead. They're on
Yeah,
the ground. The lion is dead, and there's a pool of blood leading from the lion to the knight. What's the knight's name?
Yvain.
Yvain. Um, and they're both dead. And so Rose is looking around. Then out of nowhere, Bridget kind of senses her daughter, and her daughter's just got them all at gunpoint. She's in a sniper in some tree or something. No, she's not in a tree, but she definitely has that sniper. And that's it. She's just like, "Don't move, stay where you are. I'm not playing games with you."
Yeah,
And that's how it ends. So again, I'm really pissed to see her at the end, just because I'm like, I don't. What do you want? Like, you continuously just show up, mess something up, and then leave.
yeah. I see. I don't know. I don't know what her play is though. Like
Yeah.
there, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
It's like,
I really have no guess of what she
like
could be up to.
I'm glad that you brought it up. Like, what if she had never been interrupted with bringing back Arthur? What was her game? Like, if Arthur would have returned with no interruptions, Duncan never did what he did.
Right.
What was she trying to gain, or was she going to betray Merlin the whole time? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I wonder if she's got to have some ulterior motive.
Yeah,
What it
I
is,
feel
I have
like I
no
feel like
idea.
in the end it's gonna be like some kind of motherly love. She's always loved Duncan, and everything is for him. Like even though she created Galahad and everything, it was always for Duncan's benefit. And it's just gonna. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about
I don't
that.
know. I feel like that's such a trope though. Like I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like I expect better from this book, And
Right.
if that ends up being her role and it's written well,
Then
and
I'll live
or if
with
it's
it.
like a last second sacrifice, like I'll be fine with it.
Yes, a last second
But
sacrifice I can definitely deal with.
like it was something like let's say Galahad dies at some point, and
Mm.
she's like, okay, like she realizes how bad she's messed up. So she's like, all right, like I let one son die, I can't let my other one die. As much as like a garbage mother I've been.
I wonder if that's definitely a route that it's going. But I wonder if also she's just trying to get out of her story. Like she became Elaine,
That
and like
too,
now she's like, well, I need to make the things happen to where I can just
right?
continue living.
Or maybe she hasn't really fulfilled her role as Nimue yet,
Yeah,
and there's something that that she could die or something could happen, and she doesn't want to have to deal with it.
yeah. I think Bridget actually talked about that at some point. Like she's the one that mentioned to Duncan, like, hey, she's got two stories. That's very dangerous.
Right.
And he became
She's trying to
Beowulf.
get out of one or
Yeah,
the other.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's
So
probably most likely her end goal. But either way,
right.
it's like
She's
do
like
that on
it
your
could
own
be
time.
selfish for her, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
That
know.
that's more
If
believable.
anybody dies, I hope it's her. So
But it's gonna be Bridget. I'm calling it right now. It's gonna
man,
be
you're
her.
probably right. I could see it
Yeah.
happening. I didn't even think about her looking at her memories and the pictures and stuff.
I'm glad that I could ruin your night.
I was like,
No,
man.
no. But yeah, no, that's the book. 4.5 out of 5 on your end, 4 out of 5
Yep.
for me. Again, Comic Germ is on Instagram. Go check him out. He does a couple reviews for other comics. Do
I
you
will be. This was definitely my comic of the week for sure, and I usually drop those at some point between like Friday and Sunday. So tomorrow's Sunday, so I got to work on it tonight. But it'll be out
yeah, you
tomorrow.
did. You
Issue
did now.
22 wants to feature my thoughts, spoilers, everything.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask. Like, how do you usually do your reviews on Instagram? Is there something like specific that you do for each one, or is it just like
Um,
whatever on the day
I
of?
usually just like I pick a panel, I do my editing, whatever. I put it up on the main slide, and then the rest is just like my favorite pages or favorite panels from the
Mhm.
issue. Like usually
Oh,
it's like the
that's right.
spoiler
Don't
reveal at the end.
that editing is like you do like a black background and you kind of like do an outline of like the main character of that panel or whatever. That's one of the
Yeah,
main things I liked about your page,
cool.
honestly.
Thank you.
That was really
It was
cool.
so funny because I've only had my page for like probably less than a year, I think, maybe
Mhm.
a year. But I went through so many like, oh, like I need to find something cool that's catchy, people are gonna
Yeah.
like. And then we had our baby. My wife and I
Mhm.
had our baby, and I was like, I don't have time to do that shit. Like,
Comics
so
are,
I literally just I made a black background with the trim, and I said we're doing it this way because it's easy.
that's awesome. Like, and it
But it
turned
looks
out to be
sleek, it
like
looks
really
cool,
cool.
so
Yeah,
I
no.
like it. I'm happy with it. So
Again, thank you for to coming on the show, and hope to see you again. And
yeah, anytime you want me on, if
and
we can work it
to
out, I'll be down.
to the viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. See you guys later.
Thanks for having me.